everyone, this is Ted. Let's do core and hip exercise today. It's a beginner friendly and I just need a yoga mat. And we're gonna start with lying on our back. Hands by your side and then your feet's gonna be hip distance apart, pulling your navel in. And then here, just with your breath, we're gonna sweep our legs to the side, to side. Okay, we just windshield wiper our legs, softening our hips, relax your hip joint. Keep pulling your navel in and then use your breath. Inhale one to the side, exhale, sweep to the other side. Great, we have 4, 3, 2, and then 1. Now we bring your legs to the center. We lift our legs and hold your shin or your knee. And then here we're gonna knee circle. Again, the opening your hips with your breath. Relax your neck, relax your jaw. And then let's reverse. 3, 2, and then 1. Lower the feet down, hip distance apart for pelvic tilt. Hands by your side, reach your fingertips further towards your heels. And then here, deep breathe, inhale. As we exhale, we tuck your tail under, lift your tailbone slightly up. Inhale, release, untuck. Exhale, we curl the pubic bone towards navel, pull your low belly in. Inhale, untuck, find your neutral spine. Like this, 2 more. Start waking our abdominal. Untuck. 1 more, curl. And then we untuck, find your neutral spine. We're going to articulating bridge, deep breathe, inhale. Exhale, curl pubic bone towards navel, press your low back. Now lift your tailbone up, low back up, mid back, upper back, scoop your navel, and then come up to bridge position and hold here. Here, I'm activating my inner thigh, and then my thigh bone is 11, and then sending your thigh bone towards the forward, and then thinking your heels pulling towards your glute. We are activating our hamstring and glute. Inhale here, exhale, we lower upper back down, mid back, low back, and then hip land the last. Let's go articulating bridge 1 more time. Inhale, exhale, we curl, and then slowly peel off your spine as you engage the glute and hamstring. Relax your neck, keep connect your bottom ribs with your hip bone, thinking your pelvis reach forward towards the knee. Inhale, exhale, we lower the spine down, 1 vertebra at a time. We're gonna do some combination with a flat back. Deep breathe, inhale. Exhale, we curl, and then same move. We peel off the spine, we hold at the top, and then here maintain the flat back with your hips, lower the hip all the way down. Great, everybody. Again, curl the pelvis. Slowly peel off your spine, come off your shoulder bridge, pulling your navel, and then maintain the flat back with your hip socket, lower the hips all the way down. 3 more, curl. Inhale at the top. Exhale, lower the hips down. 2 more, curl. Scoop the air with your tummy. And then we lower the hips down. Last one, curl. Keep pulling your navel, heels pulling to your glute. Lower the hips all the way down. Great, everybody. Let's do a little bit more advanced for our hamstring and glute. Inhale, maintain the flat back. Exhale, hip lift all the way up. And then we find our neutral hip. Your hip bones should be nice and level. Push down your left foot. We lift our right leg up to tabletop, and then we lower. Left leg up to tabletop, and then we lower. Great. You engage our glute. You push down your foot heavy. And then we switch and lower. And we switch and lower. Hip bone should be nice and level the entire time. And then we have a 3, 2, 1 more. And then let's finish with the left leg. We started with the right leg. And lower the foot down. Lower your hips all the way down. Great, everybody. Now move your heels together, toes apart, externally rotated, your knees separated. And then we are going to hip hinging bridge here. Inhale. Squeeze your heels tighter, pulling your navel. Exhale, lift your hips up. So we are targeting our outer glute here. Lower the hips all the way down. Again, lift your hips up, squeeze the heels tighter, and then we lower. Great, everybody. We have 8, lower, 7, lower, and squeeze, and lift. Great, 4 more. 4, 3, heels tighter, 2, awesome. Lift up and hold, and little pulse. And pulse. Control these pulses. Hip up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, down an inch for 8, 7, 6, squeeze for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. Hold and lower the hips all the way down. Great, everybody. Separate your heel. Move your right ankle over your left thigh for figure 4 stretch. Flex your foot. Protect your knee. And then either you can stay here or tippy toes. A little bit of thighs closer to your chest. Or you can even hug your back over your thigh. Deep breathing, inhale. As you exhale, sending your breast to your right hip. And next exhale, lower the foot down, unwind yourself, and then we switch. Flex your foot and then your knees away from your chest. And you can just gently lift your heel or hug your thigh, pull towards your chest. Try to lower the tailbone down, maintain the flat back. And then we lower the foot down, lower your other foot down. Okay, feet together, knees together. We open our arms to the side, palms facing up. Deep breathing, inhale, press your low back down. And then lift your one leg at the tabletop. Other leg also tabletop for spine twist. Knees above your hip bone. And then inhale, bring your legs to the right. Your shoulder blades anchoring down to the mat. Exhale, pull your navel, use your core, bring to the center. Inhale, bring your legs to the left, look over your right shoulder. Exhale, use your abdominal, pull to the center. One more each side, everybody. Inhale, twist. Shoulders heavy, come back to center. And then inhale, other side. And then we come back to center. Lower your feet down. Hands by your side one more time. And then we are moved to the abdominal work. Head stay down. Deep breathing, inhale, pulling your navel. And then as you exhale, lift your right leg up to tabletop. And then we lower. Left leg up to tabletop. And then we lower. Either you can march here. If you want a little bit more challenge, we lift our leg to the tabletop. Press your low back down, other legs also tabletop. Move to toe taps. Point your toe. We're going to reach a little bit further forward and tap and lift. Switch and lift. Great. We are lift our thigh bone with the lower abdominal. And then you don't have to actually touch the floor. If you notice you're overarching the low back, and you can just like lower halfway, lower the range of motion, you do you. Make sure your rib cage is not popping up. We have a 4, 3, 2, one more, lift up and hold. Now bring your hands back behind your head, deep breathing, inhale. Exhale, we lift our head and chest up and hold. pulling your navel. Here we are gonna toe tap down and up, lower and lift. For modify, you can stay down your head. Otherwise, we stay here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, great, 3, 2, and lower your feet down. Lift your chest higher up. And then here, pulling your navel. Our pelvis is neutral. Let's turn our chest to the right, rotation. And then come back to center. Chest rotate to the left and center. Thinking your opposite armpit pulling towards the opposite knee. The shoulder blades off from the mat. We have 6, 5, 4, sternum reach towards your knee, 2, 1 more, come back to center, lift your chest higher, and then we lower the head all the way down. We're going to combination the toe tap with the chest lift. Press your low back down, and then we're gonna lift one leg at the tabletop. Exhale, lift your head and chest up and hold. And we're gonna rotate our chest to the lifted knee. And then we switch. And then we switch. And then here, focus for your pelvis. Our pelvis is neutral. And then still our kneecaps pointing to the ceiling. Rotations happening from your waistline. And then we have 6, 5, 4, squeeze your oblique for 3, 2, and then 1. Lower your foot down, come back to center, lift your chest higher, hold, and then lower the head down, arms by your side. To the side for our clamp work. We are working for our outer glute. Lift the rib cage, pulling your navel. And then here, squeeze your feet together and then lift our knee up and lower. This hand can be here or front of your belly. And I want you to really glue to your feet together. As we lift our knee up, make sure your hips not rolling back like this. So we stay nice and stable the rest of the body, and then we just lift our knee, externally rotate it, and then come back. Externally rotate, squeeze the glute, and then we lower. Great, we have 8, 7, 6, 5, we are not sinking down, 4, 3, great, 2, lift up and hold, and little pulse, and pulse, squeeze, and squeeze, great, for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1, lower the knee down. Now move your knees back, and then here let's simply lift our hips up for the side kneeling plank. Hands can be on here or extend your arms to the ceiling, and then we stay here. You're still, hips are square, pulling your navel, shoulders away from your ear. Great, either you can stay or we hip lift up and lower, lift and lower, squeeze it under oblique here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and lift up and hold. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, squeeze your thigh, 4, 3, 2, and then 1, lower your hips down, hands down. Let's turn around and then facing down, 4-point kneeling. Okay, we worked the right glute, so we're gonna keep moving. Bend your knee, we lift our hips up, and then here we are not arching the low back, we core tight lift to your belly button, and then knee tap down. We lift up and lower. Squeeze the glute and lower hamstring, reach up to the sky. Neck is neutral, chest away from the mat. And then we have 7. Great. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then we lift up and hold. Squeeze the glute, flex your foot, and then we pulse and pause for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Lift your knee, hold, and then we're going to extend our leg, reach your heels away from you. Still your knees lifted, and then we bend. We extend, and then we bend. Great. We squeeze and bend. And then we have a 5, 4, 3. Low belly in and up. One more. We bend our knee and hold. We lower the knee down, lower your foot down. Great, everybody. Let's go to the other side. We're gonna do everything. Repeat. Other hand down. Your hips are stacked, knees slightly forward for climb. Hand on your hip or front of your body. Squeeze your feet together. We lift up and lower. We open and close. Again, as we open, my left hip is right above the right hip. Pulling the navel in. Shoulder away from your ear. And then we have 8, 7, great, 6, externally rotate, and 4, 3, awesome, 2, we lift up and hold and pulse, and 8, 7, squeeze for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1, lower the knee down. Move your knees slightly back, feet back, and then push your hips forward, pubic bone forward, pull the navel in. We lift our hips up to the side, kneeling plank hold here. Ears away from the shoulder, pulling your navel, hips still the square, and then lift your hips up an inch, squeeze, and lower, up and lower. Great for 8, 7, 6, 5. Lift your chest, widen your collarbone. 3, 2. Lift up and hold. We are holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2. Lower the hips down, hand down underneath your shoulder, and then we turn around for 4-point kneeling. Flex your foot, we lift up again. We are not overarching, not sinking. Find your neutral spine. Lower and lift, lower and lift. Great. We have 8, 7, squeeze. 4, hamstring reach up to the sky. 3, 2, lift up and hold, and then with nice and control pulse and pulse for 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring it up and hold. Still flex to your foot. We extend and then we bend. Reach away and pull, hamstring pull. First 8, 7, great. First 6, 5, 4, pull with your hamstring. 3, heels towards your glute. 2, one more, and then we lower the knee down. Lower your toes under cat-cow stretch. Inhale, lift your eyes up, tail up, drop the belly. Exhale, push your hand and tuck your tail around your spine, reach your upper back to the sky. Again, inhale, lift. Exhale, round. One more. And then we found the neutral spine, we hold. Okay, curl your toes under. Let's find our quad and then our abdominal. Deep breathe, inhale. Neck is neutral. Exhale, we hover the knee 1 inch away from the knee and hold. 1 inch. Okay, curl your toes under. Neck is neutral. Pulling your navel in. We lift our knee 1 inch away from the mat. We hold here. Chest away from the mat. We are looking down between the thumb. Working for our abdominal and then quad. Hold for 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2. Lower the knee down. Okay, one more set. Curl your toes. Push down your hands. Lift your knee. Hold. Use your breath. Deep inhale into your nose. Longer exhale through the mouth. 4, 3, 2. Lower the knee down. Mini cat cow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. And then we're gonna lift our hips up, lower the chest down, lower the heel down. Wrap your shoulders, pulling your armpit towards each other, nose pointing towards your toes. And then we're gonna walk our feet forward. Bend your knee, lower the hips, chin to the chest. Slowly roll all the way up. Neck and head comes to last. Inhale, reach arms up. Chin to the chest, exhale, dive down, one vertebra at a time. Head hang heavy, arms heavy. At the bottom, lower the hips, pulling your navel. And then slowly restake your spine. Neck and head comes to last. Inhale, arms up. Hands together, exhale, bring to the center. Okay, everybody, this was it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and then I'll see you next time.